All right, an important update that I just want to give you. It's a, I seriously wish I could give you some positive news and tell you, fuck, things are improving and getting better. But this one is bad news, okay? And like I tell you, don't believe a word I'm saying. Do your own research if you think what I'm saying is false. Okay, now Dubai, UAE in general is opening up. That you know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Okay, Abu Dhabi has started a series of stringent tests whereby if you want to stay there for a few hours, there's a quick test, laser test. You want to stay for long, you have to do the nasal test and longer duration, number of hours. Dubai can sustain, it doesn't, Abu Dhabi can sustain because it doesn't need so many tourists and craziness. And what they're doing is to keep themselves on the map. They are hosting international events like UFC and MMA fights and all that, and they're keeping it on an island. So people, after they get tested, are in a safe zone. You can just Google search UFC Abu Dhabi. Okay, now, even though Dubai is opening up, what is Dubai's population? 9 million. Okay? And how big is UAE? It's a dot. What is the population of USA? What is the population of India? USA, I think 300 million. India, 1 billion. Russia, some other million, whatever. So UAE is tiny. It's a dot. And UAE, the reason why it succeeds, survives and thrives is because of tourists. Okay? People come, stop over and they go. People come, travel, stop over and they go. But now, if nobody comes, stops over and goes, the place is empty. The majority of people in UAE are what? Expats. I think what, 80, 85%, 90% are expats. How many are Emirati? Hardly 12%, okay? So 12% Emirati, 88% expats. So now if the expats leave, UAE is nothing. UAE is finished. Okay. So now, given that UAE depends on expats, UAE depends on tourism, where is the tourism? There is no tourism. Who is coming? Nobody is coming. Who is spending? Hardly anyone is. Okay, shopping malls have opened. Business is improving, but very, very slow. So slow that it is, you can't even call it an improvement. Yes, it's better than nobody being there. But I'll tell you where the problem is. The problem is Europe is moving towards a shutdown, a lockdown. Most of these other countries are moving towards a shutdown. US, the only reason all this nonsense is taking this confusion is because of the election. Biden versus Donald Trump. But the minute this election is over, irrespective who wins, whether Donald Trump or Biden, if Biden is going to be worse because he's going to ensure a total lockdown, I feel all roads lead to Donald Trump. He's going to win because nobody wants a shutdown. Okay, yes, they differ in their policies, but nobody wants a shutdown. So Donald Trump, according to me, Donald Trump will win. Okay, now what is going to happen is, however, even if Donald Trump wins or Biden wins, they can say whatever they want before the election. After the election, they'll do whatever they like. That is how it has been with everyone. Whether Obama, by the way, Obama was one of the worst presidents. I loved Obama the best. But later on, I found out Obama was the worst. You think Donald Trump is a bad guy? Just Google search how many people Obama got thrown out. What Obama has done. His record is even worse, man. He's just a sweet talker. That's why I just can't stand him anymore. He's a two-faced guy. He's good at speaking, but he's just doing. He's following instructions of whomsoever gets a president in their place. Donald Trump at least is rude and blunt on the face, but he's honest. Everything what he has said is honest. From NATO, nobody's spending money. It's true. Just Google search. US is protecting everyone's ass. So now, when these countries, Europe, France is moving towards a shutdown. France, now this boycott and all that, so their economy is going to get affected and they are moving towards a shutdown. Europe is moving towards shutdown, and there's going to be this mass chaos, just like these apocalyptic movies, zombie movies, where people are moving into riots and fighting. See, when people cannot work, people cannot earn. When you cannot earn, you cannot pay your bills. When you cannot pay your bills, how can you survive? And then on top of that, you have loans. On top of that, you have car payments, you have house payments, you have mortgage, you have children's education, you have fees, you have groceries. How are you going to pay all that? Worse than the disease, it's the fucking cure, man. It's like disease, at least you'll die once. But the cure is what? To stay locked. Now the question is, how long can you stay locked in? Are you going to stay locked in for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years? See, chickenpox vaccine, how long did it take to develop? What, 20 years? I don't know. AIDS, they still not found out the vaccine. AIDS started off in the 80s. They don't have a vaccine for it until now. There are cures, but that is reserved for the rich. A vaccine, if you actually do some research, I have done enough and more research. A vaccine takes, what? It takes 5-10 years, man. It doesn't happen overnight because there are a lot of side effects to vaccines. I think if you search, I don't know, is this Philippines or something? They gave the vaccine to these people and they rolled it out saying, oh, we found the cure for some fucking, I don't know, disease. They gave the vaccine, but however, after a few months, all the children started to die or something like that. Some shit like that happened. Just Google search. I don't know specifically. Please do your research before you jump into all this. And please, before you start that I'm an anti-vaccine guy, my baby has taken all the vaccines. And, from chickenpox to everything else, I don't like to reinvent the rules. And I don't believe in all this bullshit of Bill Gates is taking over the world and this and that and all that nonsense. There can be an element of truth to it, but we don't know. What I don't know, I tell you I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. But now, when the other economies are closing down, when people cannot earn, nobody will travel, nobody will spend. The hotel industry is decimated. The airline industry is decimated. Restaurant business is decimated. So now, it's only online. It's only the online business. Shopping malls will be gone. They will completely suffer. See, even when people are going to shopping malls, what are they going there? They're just going there to kill time. Okay, in the Middle East, it is hot. You can't go outside. So they go into the shopping mall where there's AC. We can walk. We can go to a restaurant. We can go watch a movie. We can just do some window shopping. We can do grocery shopping. Children can run around. Okay, play some games. Okay, we finish the whole day. That's why people go to the shopping mall. That's where you see footfall. But apart from that, why do you think people want to go out? So if the economies don't open up, you're going to have repercussions. And now this is where UAE, it seems, they're going to start terminating people. Starting from December onwards. You're going to start terminating people and they're going to do the first batch in December. The second batch, it seems, after observing January, then they're going to do the second batch in Feb or March. So terminations are started now again. I really thought, see, the problem is I expected things to improve. Okay, yes, there are new jobs coming out, but if they are moving towards a lockdown, then that has a domino effect for everyone. If there's a lockdown in Europe, if there's a lockdown in US, if there's a lockdown in these countries, it's going to affect the Middle East very badly, man. I'll tell you, look here in Thailand. Almost every bar, every pub, every massage parlor, every shop has closed down. The place where I stay, it used to be bustling with tourists. It's become a ghost town. Bangkok is having riots. France is having riots. Europe is having riots. Everywhere there's a fucking riot. People are fed up and frustrated. Like, how long can you stay locked up in the house? Even in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all the places there are going to be riots, left, right and center, because people want to get out. People want to work. People want to earn money. How can you live locked up in the house without earning? Okay, if you're in the house and you're working, fine. See, we need to be realistic here. Rich people don't need to work because they have enough and more money. They have 100 million, 50 million, 10 million kept in the bank, and they can sit in their villa and say, okay, total lockdown. But a person who works day to day expense, month to month, paying the bills, hand to mouth existence, how do you survive, man? You can't be in a lockdown. When they say lockdown, okay, you're going to be locked down for 2 weeks. You don't earn anything for 2 weeks. You say lockdown for a month. You don't earn anything for a month. How will you buy? Like, you have to buy Pampers, you have to buy baby food, you have to buy your food, you have to eat, you can't keep taking credit cards. How do you pay water? How do you pay electricity? Man, it's going to be a fucking disaster, yeah. So I just want to tell you that please be careful that December onwards, there's going to be, because of this lockdown, December onwards, they're going to start terminating people. Okay, first batch, December. The target, what was told to me is 10%. The focus is 10%, 10 to 12. And then January, they're going to keep quiet. They're going to see how things pick up. Mid of Feb is where the second batch of terminations begin. And the reason for terminations is they need to bring down the costs. They will be employing people in your position at lower prices, because whatever the salaries were agreed upon before the pre-COVID times. So if someone was paid like 40,000, now they'll pay them like 25, even 20. Seriously, across the board, people have been given straight away. You either take a salary cut or you can put your resignation and leave. I know places where people are asked to come to work 1 day on, 1 day off. Some places they have asked, you come to work 2 days in a week. Some places they have said, okay, you come 11 days in a month. And they get paid less. I don't know how you can survive like that. The reason I know all this information is because I work closely with my clients. I'm placing people with jobs. I'm helping them in terms of job positions, vacancies. And one more thing is, I'm not going to be putting any more vacancies because, at least for some time, I got inundated with too much of spam, too much requests, become a mess. So now if there are any jobs or anything, it's only for my clients. I can't start putting stuff like this online because, man, what, nearly 30,000 emails, fuck. It was too much. My mailbox couldn't handle, I mean, my work suffered. Okay, agreed, I can do charity and help and this and that, but not at the cost that my daily bread and butter suffer, So, I'll not be advertising. So, for those haters who say, oh, he's advertising fake jobs, well, now you can go search for jobs elsewhere. I'm not going to be sharing the ads, please. I've already declined a couple of postings because of the spam that I've received. So anyway, please be mentally prepared and stop looking at an escape route. Oh, I'll go to Canada, I'll go to US, I'll go to Australia. What are you going to do there? You think they're not having problems there? You think you're just going to get a job easily there? You'll have to pay your bills, you'll have to manage your expenses there. And you'll start from zero. Whether you go to India, Pakistan, anywhere. So don't try an escapism. Focus on making things better. I personally know many people who are going to lose their jobs in December. So already working with them to create a new strategy for jobs, from resume, interview. I guess people who know the value of the service, they use it. The rest of you, just keep sending your CVs. But just mind you, now it has increased almost, 10 times. So before you put one CV, you'll get 4 people competing with you. Now at least you'll get around 18, 20 people. And they're also asking half the salary you're asking. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Get ready for the next lockdown. And it's going to be more towards the west. So people from the west have a lockdown. It's going to have a domino effect with everyone. Terminations will start from November end. It's going to start, and second batch will be February mid. All right, so this is what I wanted to share with you. If you have any information, let me know. Anyway, this information I got from close people. And yes, like I told you in the previous video, fines are going to increase. There's going to be an increase in number of fines. For any small thing, you'll be fined, and you'll see this happen. You'll see this, and then you'll understand what I'm saying is true. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you. If you have any information, let me know. Let me sign off. Take care.
So, who is Loy Macedo? Loy Macedo is a jerk, rude, arrogant, stupid, mindless, fat, lazy bum, insult to society, dresses up like a beggar, show off, bluff master, an atheist, an opportunist, a school dropout, a tattooed freak. We wouldn't date him if he was the last man on the planet. In fact, his face looks like Spider-Man. Oh, by the way, do you know he's in shape? What? Round is a shape, isn't it? But shh, tell you a secret? Even with all these drawbacks, he is a world-class mentor, trainer, and coach. He mentors PhD holders, CEOs, and directors on personal branding strategies. He makes ordinary resumes extraordinary, prepares you for interviews, helps you get a world-class job. In fact, whatever salary you are earning, he will help you earn double that income per month. Oh yeah, and don't believe us? After all, we are just too beautiful, too hot, and too sexy, right? Do this. Just type his name on Google, Loymachedo, and find out. You see, Google never tells lies. Loy Macedo may be a jerk, but he has 2 million web links online, 200,000 social media connections, 4,000 plus post articles and videos online. He was also a speaker for TED Talks titled Stone of Judgment, and he was featured on Coca-Cola's viral advertisement on YouTube. No labels this Ramadan. That video garnered over 18 million views. So even with no education, he works only 5 days per month, and he is comfortable, successful, and happy. So do you want to learn those secrets? Do you want to know the secrets how to transform your life from the ordinary to the extraordinary? Then log on to www.whoisloymacedo.com and find out how he has changed the lives of so many, and how maybe he can be the answer for you. Or if you wish, send him an email on loy@loymacedo.com, or send him a WhatsApp message on 009715569696626, and he will respond to you for free. Remember, so the question really isn't, who is Loy Macedo? The question is, are you fed up of earning that miserable salary? Do you feel you are worth much more? Do you really want to change your life? Remember, there are no shortcuts to success, but there are strategies that can help you get there faster. On behalf of Loy Macedo and his team, thank you for watching this video. Do like and subscribe to his channel. And shh, we still think Loy Macedo is a jerk. So you want to go over the...
Okay, so...
Yeah, for the... Yeah? Oh, wait. By the way, let us know what you thought of this video. Good, bad, ugly. Post your comments down below. We would love to read your views. Trust me, we would be reading it. Goodbye.